Oh, hello. Are you here to help with the cleanup? Thank you so much. It's almost cleaned up by now. It was a lot worse, but there is still quite a lot to be done. A lot of help needed. Thank you so much for coming. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Emily Buford. I live here in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, right down there on Baltimore Street, right just a couple blocks over. This whole battle, all of this started, it was 3 weeks ago. It was a regular morning, Tuesday, July 1st. I was just awaking, getting out of bed, walking downstairs like I would usually do to put together my breakfast, my oats and all, when I hear this knock at my front door. Who could it be? Who would be knocking at my door? I don't get too many visitors, and it's pretty early. I don't know who it could be. I walk over to my door and I peek out, and it's my cousin Daniel, and he's in a blood-stained uniform, and he's all sweaty, and he's nervous, and he's shaking and all. I opened the door and I said, "What's wrong, Daniel? What's wrong?" He tries to tell me, but he's all nervous, and he's stuttering, and he can hardly get it out. I hear something about a battle downtown. A battle has broken out, and he asked me to come help. He says, "Come help me, come help. We need help down here. There's a battle." I'm only wearing my apron and all, and it was just a regular morning when this all happened, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I run back into my kitchen, and I put some slices of bread I find on my table just in my apron pockets, and hoping I could help with giving out food or something if that's what they need. I run out the door following my cousin Daniel, and as soon as I step out, I see up by Church Street, I already see people, men, gentlemen walking back from the battlefield, limping, and they're bleeding, and they're falling down, and they have men over their backs like dead men, and men bleeding to death already, and there's men already buried, their hair buried already, like they had already died and their friends tried to bury them. It's horrible. I don't know what's going on. I'm walking down the street, and they're all calling for help. They're yelling, "Over here, help me, I need help." And I go over to one man who's calling me over, and he has some gunshots, 3 to be exact, 2 in his arms, 1 on his leg. I kneel down beside him to help him, and he's telling me how he wants help, he needs care, and he wants me to bandage his wounds, but I tell him I forgot, I don't have any of that. I didn't know what I was coming out here for. I tell him the only thing I brought was bread, and I offer that to him, and he takes it. He's very excited. He said he hasn't eaten in 2 whole days, and he's starving. I give him the bread, and I'm thankful I could help. A woman across the street with gray, short hair, she's standing in front of St. Xavier's church, and she calls me over. She says, "Lady, come over here. Lady, we need your help." I go over there to see what she wants, and she tells me to come into the church, that they turned it into a hospital for the soldiers who need help. I walk up, and I step on the porch, and I'm slipping in the blood. There's so much blood there from all the bleeding soldiers, and I walk into the church then, and I see that the first thing I notice is the horrible stench of blood that fills the room, and the sound of men crying out for help, and crying and just screaming in pain and all. They're laying across the pews as if it's their hospital beds, and others laying on the floor around them, just waiting for help. And I see so many bleeding to death, and people, women trying to wrap them up as quickly as they can so they don't bleed to death. But for too many, it was too late. I noticed then as a doctor, he's cutting off arms and legs. He's amputating them and throwing them out the window quickly. They amputate the legs and arms of the soldiers whom their bones are shattered too badly to just be bandaged up. It wouldn't do anything. They were throwing them out the window quickly. He was trying to do it quickly to get to more and more people. There's women and girls wrapping up their arms and legs and all of their gunshot wounds, and one young girl, about the age of maybe only 13, runs up to me and says, "Here, take this. We need help. Come join us and bandage him up. All the help we can get." She throws me rags and cloth and all, and I follow her, but I have hardly any idea how to do this. I've never done anything like this. I never expected to be doing this today. It was a regular morning, and all of a sudden this happened. I didn't expect this at all. I follow her and I start wrapping up the wounds with them, and I stay there for a while, and I meet this one man, and I tell him my name after caring for him, and then later he still remembers me, and he's calling me by name. He's saying, "Come over here, Emily, Emily, come over here, Emily." And he was trying to talk to me, and he thought I was some old sister of his whom he hasn't seen in a while. He was only about maybe 16 years old, very young soldier, and I think he was missing his family. It seemed like he was going in and out of consciousness, because I'm definitely not his sister. And he kept wanting to talk to me and tell me stories and all. I would listen to him, and I would talk with him, and I would care for him, and I was bandaging up his wounds, and I was singing to him to comfort him and help him feel better just by comforting him and all. And then I tell him that I have to go help others. I go help him bandage up other men's wounds too, and caring for them and comforting them and singing for them too. But he keeps calling me over. I don't know. I stay there all day long, and I keep asking, "Can I go home now? I haven't been home all day. My family has no idea where I am. I don't know if everyone's okay. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten all day, and I'm tired. I'm going to need to get some sleep." But they keep telling me, no, you must stay. You have to stay with us. We need help. I stay a while longer, and I keep caring for them and bandaging their wounds and all. And finally, later at night, they tell me I can go home. That if I need some rest, I can go home and get some rest, and hopefully that I can come back the next day. I walk home, and before I even make it off Church Street to my street, I notice ahead so many laying ahead of me that are already dead, more dead than this morning, and it's horrible. And the horrible smell of blood and the hot summer air and the smell of death and all of these dead animals in my path and off in the fields and in the battlefield, all of these dead animals, dead horses, all bleeding and all of the men crying and screaming, and I hear the gunshots in the distance, and there's others burying their friends and half burying them because they're doing it quickly and they're not doing it proper. They're just hardly burying them at all, just throwing a little bit of dirt on them, and they're about halfway buried. I keep walking down my street, and there's more and more death, and it's horrible. I get close to my home, and I see my porch, and now my porch has soldiers on it too. My porch is covered in blood and all. I walk up to my porch, and then I can see there's men in my kitchen too. They went into my house, and I see they've eaten all of my food, all the little bit of food I had. I found out many of them haven't eaten in 2 or 3 days. There's still more running into my house and on my porch and all, and the Confederate soldiers running down my streets with their evil rebel calls, and the Union soldiers running from them, trying to run away. And I look out into my backyard where there used to be a peach orchard, and all the trees are shot up, and there's not really a peach orchard anymore, and the fields are all trampled by the thousands and thousands of soldiers who ran through it, and there's dead livestock and dead cows and dead horses out there. I get some sleep that night. I get to rest. The battle has calmed down a little bit now. I still hear the agony and the crying of the men, though, out in my streets and in my own kitchen and my own house and in my yard and everything. I never expected this. What's going on? When's it gonna end? This is horrible. Everyone I know is out there. I get some sleep that night, and I awake the next morning. I head back to St. Xavier's Church, and as I'm walking down the street, there's even more death, more dead men, and sad people, uniforms, all, and others that are upset, and they're trying to bury them, and the others still fighting, and I hear gunshots and all the gun smoke out there, and the smell is, I smell blood all over, and the smell of death, and all of these dead animals all over. I get back to St. Xavier's Church, and there's even more men there. So much more today, that at least triple what it was the day before. It's horrible. I notice the doctor is still there, cutting off arms and legs vigorously, quickly, throwing them out the church window. He's doing it very quick and fast, and there's still nurses and women wrapping up wounds, and I join in again. I keep doing that. I look for the man whom I saw yesterday. His name was Joseph, and he recognizes me. He looks so much better today. He's sitting up with his wounds bandaged, and he recognizes me, and he thanks me for everything I did for him yesterday, helping him and comforting him and caring for him when he was hurt and thought he was dying and was scared. He thought he was dying. I think of the many who aren't that lucky, who didn't improve at all, who have already died or didn't get the help and care they needed because there's so many of them and not enough people to care for them. It's sad to think of that. I talked to him more today, and he still wants to talk to me. He's very nice. He still wants more care, and I'm caring for him still. After talking to him, I find out that he was a Confederate soldier, and he's fighting against my cousin and my brother and everyone I know, all of my friends and everyone. He's fighting against us. But I can't hold that against him. He still needs the care, and he's just another person. He's still a person who needs... I can't hold that against him. He just needs help, and he's just fighting for what he believes in, and that's okay. I still give him help and care, and I keep trying to comfort him, singing to him, and I'm bandaging his wounds still. I help out more people, and I stay there a while longer. I stay there all day till finally at 11 o'clock at night I get to go home. They tell me I can go home again. Walking back, it's just terrible. It's devastating. All of these soldiers out there, the horrible smell and the hot summer air. The next day I go back to St. Xavier's church to help out again. The war has calmed down a little bit now. It's gotten calmer and it's not so bad anymore, but there's still men dying all over and animals dying all over. I walk back to the church, St. Xavier's church, and I help there again. I stay there for a while, and I look around for Joseph again, and I can't find him. I ask someone, and they know where he is. They said he was taken away to the prisoner of war camp. I'll probably never get to talk to him again, or care for him, or anything, or give him, or help him out anymore. I could probably never see him again. That's sad. I know if I went back to the prisoner of war camp and tried to care for a Confederate soldier, that I'd probably be arrested myself. After talking and caring for them some more and bandaging up more wounds and helping out more soldiers, one Union soldier comes pushing through the doors of the church, and he has this excited expression on his face, and he comes through and says, they're gone, it's over, we pushed them back into Virginia. Everyone's all excited, but there's still all the aftermath of the war, all the cleaning up to do, all of the dead soldiers to bury, all the hurt men and sad families and sad friends and everything, all of the dead animals. There's still a lot to be done. Immediately, charity organizations started coming in to help. The Sisters of Charity and all sorts of different charity organizations, they were coming in to help with the cleanup and to care for the soldiers, and then families from all over Pennsylvania, all over New Jersey and New York, from all over, and Delaware and Maryland, they all came, southern states too, they all came to look for their loved ones, their brothers, their sons, their fathers who never came back from war, to see if they're okay. They want to see if they're in the hospitals and okay, or if they're already dead. So many will never know. They're already buried and unrecognizable because they're already dead and they're already buried. So many without their names on there. That's sad. So many are coming up to me asking me if I've seen someone. Have you seen Jonathan? Have you seen Nathan? And I say, no, I don't know who they are. I'm sorry, I can't help. And one comes up to me and asks me if I've seen Joseph, and they describe him, and I could help them. I tell them I know where he is, and he's doing okay. He's doing well. I was caring for him and that he's at the prisoner of war camp, and I give them directions. They want to know how to get there, and I could help them, and I was so glad I could help, and they were so glad they could find out where he was. It was his sister, I found out. And then individuals started coming to help with the cleanup too. I guess that's how you guys came. You just came to help with the cleanup and to help bury and help us get back to normal. I don't know how it's ever going to happen. It's going to be hard. I don't know how it's going to happen. Well, thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it. Here, let's go hand out some water and food to the soldiers who really need it, the hungry and thirsty soldiers. Let's go. Thank you so much.